All right, so one of the most expensive purchases anyone will make is in a vehicle. All right, buying the vehicle is expensive, insuring the vehicle is expensive, fixing the vehicle, maintaining the vehicle. These are all very expensive things. And the more money we invest in our vehicle, the less money we can invest in personal preparedness and self-reliance and tools and other things that can help us save money in the future. And so today I want to do a book review on how cars work, because the more that we can maintain our own vehicles, the more we can fix our own vehicles, the more money we can invest in other things, right? This book right here, so what I was looking for is I was looking for a book where I could kind of reference, I just want to know what the parts are, right? I can see when something's bad, but if I don't know what that part is called, I don't know what to Google, I don't know what to do. I could Google how to fix it if I knew what it was called. I can Google how to diagnose if it's broken or not if I know what to Google. And so knowing what the different parts and pieces of your vehicle are can really aid you in figuring out how to fix it, how to maintain it. And this book is exactly what this book is. It goes into detail on what each part and piece of your vehicle is. There's 250 most important car parts in this book right here. And the one thing that I really like about it is the chapters are laid out. So the first page is, so this is the engine, right? And so it just generically talks about the engine, and then each page is its own part. So here's a combustion chamber, here's the block, here's the crankshaft, main bearings. Each page is its own part, and the pictures are big. They're easy to see. Everything is labeled. Everything is done very, very well. And then when you get to the next section, so the next section is drivetrain. Again, you have drivetrain, and then you have a picture that goes over the basics of what the drivetrain is, and it kind of goes, it's kind of like a high-end overview of what everything is. It doesn't go into any real detail, but it's telling you what exactly a drivetrain is. And then each page after that goes into a part, or like rear wheel drive versus front wheel drive, right? And so I really like how it breaks everything up. It tells you how it works and what it's for. Everything is labeled really well, so it's easy to see. I did mark a page here because I wanted to show you something. Well, I marked it with a sheet of lined paper. And so if you want to take notes on how to diagnose these things, because it's not going to tell you how to diagnose it, it's not going to tell you how to fix it, it's just telling you what the parts are and what they do. And so if you want to take notes on how to diagnose it, or what to look for, or how to tell if this part is bad, you can take a normal sheet of paper, take all your own notes, and then store it right on the page that thing is on, and then you'll be able to identify it with the book and diagnose it and fix it with your notes. The other thing is, you'll see here that there's 4 different clamps, and it's just labeled hose clamp. Well, if I want this hose clamp on the far right here, I don't even know what to look up. I'll look up hose clamp, right? But I don't know how to find that specific hose clamp with a screw on top. I don't know. I don't know how to find it. I don't know what it's called. And so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to Google hose clamps. I'm going to try to find all 4 of these, and then I'm going to write the specific name of each one of those clamps. Same thing on this page over here. It says heater radiator. Well, sometimes that's called a heater core, right? So I'm going to write heater core underneath there. And so then not only do I have what it is, right, by the book, but I can have what it's most commonly called, and maybe it's just called a heater core in my neck of the woods, right? But having that information means that I can go to a mechanic, and then when they say heater core, I know exactly what it is. Or if they say heater radiator, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what you call the heater core. You know what I mean? And so maybe different makes and manufacturers call it different things. I want to label all of that in this book. And so not only do I know what it is, I know what it can be called. Same thing if a mechanic comes up to you and says your PCV valve and your air injector valve are messed up or they need to be replaced. Well, by reading this book, you'll know that you can't have both. You either have a PCV valve or you have an air injector valve. You can't have both, right? So you're just going to, I'm going to wait on that service. Or if somebody says they want a manifold air pressure sensor, right? A manifold air pressure sensor, right? A lot of people don't know what that is. They've never even heard of it. But if I say a MAP sensor, which manifold air pressure, MAP, if I say MAP sensor, a lot of people have heard of a MAP sensor. They still don't know what it does, but at least they've heard of it. And so if somebody comes up to you and says, oh, your manifold air pressure sensor is bad, you'll know that it's the MAP sensor. You'll know what they're talking about. I had somebody talking to Caroline. We had a mechanic talking to Caroline. We needed an alignment, which is the weird part, is we just needed them to align the front wheels. And he started throwing around all these terms and things that she didn't understand. And I was like, none of that has anything to do with an alignment. Like, none of what he's talking about he should have ever even looked at. Like, why is he looking at the emission system when we're paying him to do an alignment? And then they wanted to charge, so it was $100 for the alignment. They wanted to charge us $750 to fix our vehicle and then do the alignment. They wouldn't do the alignment until the vehicle was fixed, and so we just took our vehicle back and said that we'll never go there again, right? And so having a book where I could identify the parts and I could understand what it was he was talking about, and I knew he was talking about the emission system, which is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And he wants to replace all these parts, and it's going to be $750 for a service that we don't even need, and he won't give us the service we do need until he does all this unnecessary stuff. I dodged a bullet. I saved $750. If I didn't know any better, he could have scammed us. We would have been out a ton of money for no reason. I don't trust that place. I'm never going back there. And it's all because I knew the lingo. I knew what he was talking about. I knew the things that he said were bad, causing the issue. If that thing was bad, it wouldn't have caused that issue. You know what I mean? And so because I understood what was happening and what was going on, I was able to save a bunch of money. And so then I bought this book so that I could show it to Caroline. Caroline's going to read this book. She's going to learn the different things, and so that she doesn't get scammed, because she almost did. If I wasn't there, well, if I wasn't available, she was able to call me. But if I wasn't able to answer the phone, she might have got scammed for a lot of money that I would have had to pay for. And I'm not looking to pay that much money for something we don't need, right? I'd rather spend that money on, well, it would have went on a Visa. So not only would I have spent $750, I would have had to pay all the interest on the credit card on top of that, and it would have cost me a ton of money, right? Know what you're talking about. Know the pieces, know the parts, know what they do, know how they work, so that when a mechanic calls you and tells you what's wrong with your vehicle, you at least know if they're being honest or not. At the very least, even if it doesn't save you any money, even if it doesn't save you any time, at least you know what the mechanic is saying. You at least know if what he's saying makes sense or if he's just scamming you. And so this book will pay for itself in no time, and I highly recommend it. I give it a 10 out of 10. I really enjoy it, especially if you put your own notes in it. It becomes even more valuable. And so in the comment section down below, I want to know, how do you feel about working on your own vehicles? Is this something that you do? Is it something that you focus on, or do you let the mechanics and the auto shops do it for you? Let me know in the comment section. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see you on my next video.